Before we talk about UEFA Champions League, what a night for Manchester United. One of the worst seasons ever when it comes to Champions League for Manchester United. But we'll come to that later. But right now, let's start from home scene. Let's talk about cycling. After all, we already call the show 360 Sport. We always move around with other sport, not only football. But this time around, we're talking about cycling. We move straight to Lagos to join Femi Thomas, who actually is having a three feather on his cap. He's the chairman of Ogun State Cycling Federation and also Cycling Care, and also trying to see how he can at least better the lot of cycling in Nigeria. Well, right now, join us from Lagos is Femi Thomas. Good to have you, Femi Thomas.
Good to have you too. Thanks for the opportunity.
Good one. You're looking like, I know this is the Cycling Federation's jersey, always looking so beautiful. Well, right now, I'm almost calling you Super Eagles player. Okay, so let's start. Let's talk about cycling. What's happening in the world of cycling? I know you are part of the Cycling Federation of Nigeria and also Ogun State Cycling Association, and you are also into cycling. Well, give us insight to what is happening concerning that sport.
Yeah, cycling have been going pretty well. Oh, yes, there have been a lot of events through the president and the board members. There have been a lot of steps which were taken with the female being represent Nigeria in the Olympic coming up in 2020, and likewise the female participating in World Championship, World States in tracks and roads. So it has been a very good opportunity. And likewise, we too, in my own state, have been the chairman of the cycling association. We have been organizing monthly events, which other cyclists have been coming all over Nigeria to partake in it. So, and over the years, there have been a growth in cycling. There have been a lot of cycling. There are a series of clubs, and both in Lagos and in Abuja, all Nigeria. So it has been a very year and we are looking forward to more years to come, because next year we're still going to the next programs, which are we have online game, we have so a lot of activity for next.
Okay, good morning there. You're giving us insights to what is happening concerning cycling, expectation and all that. But right now, you mentioned all African games. What's the preparation for Team Nigeria concerning that games coming up in Ghana?
Yeah, we are looking to brighter days ahead of us, because we have been working steadily from this year, and then in order to improve the cyclists for them to get prepared for next year, all Africa. So for this reason, being a lot of activities which needs to be taken care of, and then which they need to compete in, then going into camp. But with all these are good about, but equipment were nowhere to be found. There's no equipment. And as well, we haven't been able to as much because there haven't been any being released by the government to cycling in order to fund things. So it has been run and funded by the federation and members of the board. So this limits our resources, and cycling is a very expensive sport. So we need fund from sponsors and governments to come in, and like being able to have a budget that will be still all being put in place for yearly, because it's going to cost a lot of money. Not even that we have dollar rate is increased, and then looking at travel for one country to the other, ticket is now costing $1 million for just one athlete. So it's going to be very difficult to get fund, but we need the sponsor to come in and the government as well to put their strength behind us.
When you talk about sport of cycling, really, it has been touted as one of the most complete sports where the entire body can actually be exercised. But right now, we're talking with one of the, at least when you talk about administrator in this sport called cycling, Femi Thomas is one of those noted ones. Right now, he's talking with us concerning what they're facing in Cycling Federation of Nigeria, and also Ogun State Cycling. Aside that, when you mentioned sponsors, we know that attention is always on football. How is it now that cycling, even though they are doing well, but it seems they are not having that particular support to get sponsorship?
Yeah, it's bad because, like I said, in Ogun State, we do organize monthly, and likewise to see sponsor to sponsor this consistent create for good 12 months is not an easy thing. Even sometimes, some months, at least 90% of the month, I have to dip my hand to my own personal fund and my company funds to be able to fund some great events. So difficult, if we have to say, when it comes to sponsors. But I believe government could have given a to cycling and then being able to bring out a policy that will drill or divert attention of people in order to organization, in order to sponsor side will have been a good idea. There's a lot of things in the private sector as well the government can achieve through cycling. And then you haven't been able to emulate this, it will still be the same. If we look at other European countries who have adapted cycling as their own sport, there is a lot of things that are benefiting from it. Tourism and investments coming into the country, and likewise eradicating poverty. So cycling can do a lot of things for us here, but if the government puts their strength in, I believe we'll still be lacking on these sponsorship issues.
Well, a big one there, talking about that particular sport called cycling. We can make a lot of money through cycling by actually going towards tourism. Sport tourism can also bring more money to Nigeria. But right now, attention is always on football, and we really need to look at other sectors of sporting activities across. Well, right now, Femi Thomas has been talking with us. Before I let you go, let's look at, can you at least provide solutions that can make cycling to be getting that particular support it deserves?
Yeah, there is a lot because, like from my own end, we have been doing this over the year. I have a company which I'm running, which is called Anti Care. So we have been able to that in order to fund cycling, being able to add more value to the sport. And like next year now, we are creating a jersey, which we have a sponsor position on it, and then for us to come and then be able to take a spot on our jersey, and then we can produce it out in giving to our pro, and which we give all sponsors a very good publicity and branding, so that wherever they are going to, wherever event they are coming at, they will always have that jersey, and they promote the brand, they promote this brand all over this throughout the event they are going to do for here. It's a good opportunity for them. Cycling is just like a signboard within all over the country, and we can cycling weighing it from each every other state in Nigeria, which goes a long way, different from you just sitting on TV and then looking at but having a big box can move around the country. Even while you are riding, even outside country, you can put it on. So, opportunity for a brand for us to come in. And the only way we can do this done is for government to see how to create a policy. Any company sponsoring sports could have benefit of tax and other things which could give a driven mind to come into because because if organization or private sectors in Nigeria are look what's the value to get back. If they are going to get a value back from you as an athlete or as a sport or as a man, they want the government value as because you're not only talking about a sport is only going to be covered corner. You want a thing, they want a mile for their sponsorship. And that mileage really gets it through government backup can be a policy that can work with their benefits.
A good one there, Femi Thomas, joining us from Lagos, taking us through the world of cycling. That sport is really very important if you want to get fit, and also he's talking about government trying to create a policy that can allow sponsors, at least organizations that are supporting that sport, to get tax rebates. Good one coming from Femi Thomas. We appreciate you joining us from Lagos. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good one there. We just had a good one with Femi Thomas joining us from Lagos concerning cycling sport. While we move away from cycling, the show is 360 Sport on Trust TV. We cross over from cycling straight down to soccer. Let's talk about football. Just yesterday, well, on Monday, he won the African Player of the Year, Victor Osimhen. Well, just yesterday, he also scored a goal where Napoli was able to win against Braga in the UEFA Champions League. UCL, Osimhen scores in Napoli victory over Braga. Good one for him. The Lion, as they call him, was able to roar over there at the Diego Maradona Stadium over there in Italy after getting that award. Good one for Victor Osimhen for the fact that he was able to do that. And right now, join us in the studio, even though we've seen him earlier on, is Opa Josiah. Good to have you, Opa.
Yeah, good to have you, sir.
Yes, let's talk about UEFA Champions League. It was a good one for Victor Osimhen. After getting CAF Player of the Year, he actually roared back with that particular goal.
Well, it's quite impressive, and what a way to celebrate the award he just won. To see a Nigerian doing that in a very top club, even after the allegation that his teammates have been failing to pass to him in the past couple of games. But he's coming back stronger, and we hope to see him perform much better to win the award numerous times, just as Salah did.
Well, hopefully Victor Osimhen will continue to roar there, and other Nigerian players will continue to dominate Africa when it comes to this. Good one for Osimhen, banging in another goal just yesterday. But right now, let's look at the result of the UEFA Champions League Group A to D. Result and also the table. Right now in Group A, we look at Copenhagen. They defeated Galatasaray 1-0. Kostlov Deraga actually scored that goal in the 58th minute. We have Manchester United. They lost out at Old Trafford, worst ever. And when you look at the record of Manchester United, the Red Devils actually turned yellow yesterday. Well, Bayern Munich defeated them. Kostlov Kingsley Coman, who scored that goal for them. And you look at how the table is in that group. Well, it's not too good because Manchester United, a record was set. 4 points they had in these games, playing 6 matches. From the way it is, they were able to manage to get 4 points with a -3 goal difference. Bayern Munich roared to the last. They won 5, they drew 1, they lost none. Copenhagen, they actually surprised everyone, taking the position of Manchester United, because a lot of people tipped Manchester United and Bayern Munich. I'm sure, Josiah, when that draw was made, you were standing with United and Bayern.
Most likely, because looking at the other teams, you wouldn't expect Man U not to scale through. And that's where the shocker comes from, for the fact that even Galatasaray did not even qualify, but rather Copenhagen did. But credit to them, they have been in top form, considering their league position presently.
But looking at this particular group, really, at the beginning, when the draw was, like I said, our attention was that, okay, Man United would do it, but it was like they went to sleep. Even yesterday's game, Galatasaray lost, they lost. So it was like they had a meeting that, okay, we can't go anywhere, let's allow Copenhagen to make it.
It's a totally strange group, and considering what position Man U has been over the years since the retirement of Sir Alex Ferguson, it's quite shocking, though, considering they have Copenhagen, of all people, that haven't qualified past the group stage for a very long time.
Well, really, talking about Manchester United, their goalkeeper, Andre Onana, as at this time last season, Onana was one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Why? He was doing so well with his former club. But right now, I'm sure, I saw a particular banter somewhere that says Onana right now, as last year, was the best goalkeeper, but this year is the worst, because actually conceding 15 goals in the UEFA Champions League is a big one.
Well, the Champions League is a different ball game. Comparing his performance in the Premier League, though there are still some iota of errors in his game, but he's much more better in the Premier League compared to the Champions League. let me not digress, putting the Celtic game into perspective also, but he's actually been trying, but coming to the Champions League, he has actually committed a lot of blunders that cost them to this point. So coming to the Bayern's game, it's more like a very difficult task for them because they failed to do it in the previous 5 games. So coming to the last game of the group stage was definitely out of it. I believe they were even demoralized.
I suspect you're a Manchester United fan.
No, not at all.
Oh my goodness, you are sounding so unhappy. Anyway, let's quickly look at the result of the remaining group and also the table. Let's look at Group B now. Well, for Manchester United, they have another season to run after. Right now, their attention will be to play well. Well, for that's a Champions League Group B result. Lens defeated Sevilla 2-1. King of Europa. They know where they belong. They don't even mind at all. Frankowski scoring a penalty for Guinea, also adding another one. Even though Ramos was able to actually get one back for them because of a penalty. It ended 2-1. PSV and Devon 1-1 against Arsenal. They shared this point there. Nketiah scoring for the second minute, while Baltassin made it 50 make it 1-1 draw there in the 58th minute. If you look at the way the table is right now in that Group B, it shows that Arsenal, they played 6, they won 4, they drew 1, they lost 1. They actually have 13 points to say.
That's my team. Well, looking at this group, there's always this belief that Sevilla will always be comfortable with third position, considering they are the king of Europa in quotes. But it was actually a difficult task for them, considering the form that Lens have been and PSV has also been. So far this season, Arsenal remains the only team that have defeated them. In their league, they are still unbeaten. They have 100% win record. And Sevilla are definitely out of it right now.
It's so surprising that Sevilla, not even third, it came 4th, 2 points after 6 matches. What happened?
I believe if you follow the Ligue 1, you would know that Lens are also not pushovers. They have been performing for the past 2 years. And so I'm not surprised actually that Sevilla are out of it, considering they've had change in management. So that can actually affect the performance of players.
Well, really,
as much as it's the same crop of players that have been there, they even have reinforcement.
Really talking about that Group B there. Arsenal showing their class. They were able to do it right now. They've also at least silenced everyone in that group, topping that particular group there in Group B. Let's look at Group C as it went down just yesterday in their final match, the final lap. Union Berlin 2, Real Madrid 3. It was a 5-goal thriller. Voland and Kras scoring for the 85th. Joselu making it a brace there, 61 and 72. Ceballos making it the 3rd goal for Real Madrid. Sporting Braga lost over there at the Diego Maradona Stadio there in the Italian Serie A stadium there. Well, when you look at Napoli, did well. They were able to get 2 goals, Kotsila for Osimhen, and own goal scored by Sachi in the 9th minute. Good one for Napoli.
Very good results. The table turned out to be as expected. Everyone expected Madrid to top the group, as well as Napoli to some extent. Madrid had 100% win record, and which is a kudos to them. Napoli, on the other hand, they only lost to Madrid being the favorite.
And now, looking at the fact that even if you call them favorite, but really, they really work for it. Look at this. They played 6 matches. They won these 6 matches. They didn't draw, neither lose. They didn't lose any game. 18 points.
Well, there's something about the system.
So I don't want to call it maybe favored or whatever. They worked for it right now, so far.
That's why I'm trying to explain something. It's all about a system, not just a player. If you look at it, they've shared the goals across different players, and Jude Bellingham coming into that team was just like a perfect fit, the end of a puzzle. That's how I put it. So it has been a very good marriage between that particular player and them, and you can see he provided the assist for the final goal. Okay.
Now, if you look at this group, Napoli, they got 10 points after playing 6 matches, 3 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. And now you look at Sporting Braga, the team from Portugal. They actually played 6 times. They drew 1. They won 1 and they lost 4 games, -6. They have 4 points. Union Berlin of Germany, they just came to see what is happening in Champions League.
Should I say I'm a bit disappointed, but I wouldn't blame them because they have lesser experience compared to the other teams there. But they've been performing domestically, and it's a kudos to them to find themselves in the Champions League.
Yeah, from the way it is right now, Real Madrid really coasting home. Well, round of 16, let's see if they will continue to win there. It's a big one for them. Rolling on, talking about the Galacticos. Now, Group D result. Red Bull Salzburg, they lost at home against Benfica. Benfica, all the goal they ought to have scored at the beginning of the race, they are now making hay when the sun is already set. So painful. Well, Benfica against Red Bull Salzburg ended 3-1. Di Maria scoring for them. Da Silva, Mendoza, Cabral making it 3 there. Susic also scoring for Salzburg. Inter Milan against Real Sociedad ended goalless. And you look at the way it is, surprisingly, Real Sociedad, they shocked everyone in this group. They topped that group in Group D. Looking at the way the table is there. Good one for Sociedad for the fact that they were able to top that particular Group D table. Well, good one. They top it with 12 points alongside Inter Milan. Shockingly, no one saw this coming. Benfica, one of the biggest clubs in fact, Portugal. In Europe, they have the record, the history, but Sociedad shocked them by topping that group. In fact, ahead of Inter Milan with a goal difference of 5, while Inter had 3.
I think aside the Copenhagen, this is one of the surprise package, even though they've been around and they've actually gelled as a group. I've been following them for quite some time. They've more like groomed the same number of players for a very long time. They've understood themselves. And so, doing a background check, you have to give credit to the management for putting those sort of players in place. But for Benfica, it's just quite unfortunate, considering they won their league last season. And they added some form of experienced players in the form of Di Maria. But unfortunately, the Champions League cannot be compared to domestic league. That's why we have Celtic coming first and
scoring these 3 goals when they were supposed to score those goals at the beginning, the last day. What were they expecting? They want to score 30 goals or what?
Well, you know, the third position was still up for grabs.
So they were probably maybe.
Yeah, probably scoring more will cover up for the goal difference, and they will have advantage over Salzburg.
And it didn't work out there. Well, for Benfica, that's another bad one for them. It was a bad night because they really crashed out for the UEFA Champions League Group D there. Just to let you have a feel of what happened yesterday across Europe in those games from Group A to D, giving you an update there. Right now, we quickly look at our own league. The Women League will be coming up match day 5 there. Well, let's look at the fixtures for women. That's NWFL Group A and B. When we look at those fixtures in Group A, we have Adamawa Queens facing Nasarawa Amazon. That match will be coming up today. Nigeria Tels against Heartland Queens. Conference Queens will be locking on against Abia Angels, while Royal Queens against Danas Ladies. And you look at Group B also, where they'll be playing their own games. Let's look at the fixtures for Group B. Matches coming up in different categories of matches there. Well, as we are hoping that matches will be played tonight, rather this evening. Delta Queens, Robo of Lagos, Ekiti Queens, Sunshine Queens, Edo Queens travel to play against Remo Stars in Ikenne, while Bayelsa Queens will be facing Rivers Angel. It's a South-South derby, big one. Which of these matches actually catch your eyes?
The Rivers Angels Bayelsa Queen is a quite interesting one, considering over the past decade, Rivers Angels have been the most dominant team. They've won 10 out of the last 5 out of the last 10 titles. So I expect them to really do well. And the Delta Queens, they are the present champions. They are the current champions rather of the Women League. So I expect them to also put in the fight. But for the Nigerian Premier League, just like the Men League, the home team always have the advantage, and the goals are kind of scanty. So I don't expect much goals, but for the home teams to perform.
But the home teams to perform.
Yeah.
Well, but before we wrap it up, let me just throw one bounce at you. What's happening to the elephant on the tree? Arsenal. The elephant is sleeping up.
The elephant will go back up again.
Go back up again. Well, that will be it on 360 Sports. It's always good to end it with a laughter. Good one there. Femi Thomas joining us from Lagos, and also Pa Josiah joining us in the studio to talk sports with us. We appreciate your time with us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, sir.
I'm Adeniyi Ajishafe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.